Hey guys, time to put the safety glasses on and try this thing out. So here's a quickie update. Basically, I used the Hollowpoint Premiers as well as the GAMO Point, and they shoot fine in the rotary magazine. I basically loaded both of them up, shot at least probably 40 of them last night or more, and it was fine. You know, it loaded right, and then it never clogged or anything else like that. It was pretty good. I tried to do the Pro Chrono, but it didn't work because there's not enough light. I didn't know how much light it takes. So after shooting about pretty much half a tin of Premiere, well, not even half a tin, probably around 40 to 50 shots, it was pretty cool. It worked very well. Sighting it probably took about 10 or so shots. It was not bad. Overall, I was shooting in my garage, so basically it's not a big deal. Basically, no one really heard it, and also it was before 10 o'clock, so it was pretty neat shooting the GAMO. It was a little bit more recoil than I thought. It's a little bit more recoil than the Maxim, and it's really hard to push down. The first probably 20 cockings is really hard. As you can see, you can actually load individual pellets, and that was the first one I shot. I basically looked into the breech and make sure everything was empty. Then you can actually just lift up that canopy and just basically put a pellet in there, with a single load, and then just clamp it back down and close it back down to actually load a single pellet at a time. You don't need that 10 magazine cartridge in there. You could load a single shot if you wanted to, but since you have a magazine, why not, right? So it just lifts up, enough so you can put it in, and then slot a pellet in and push it back down, and you just cock it back forward, and then that's it. Even without that magazine, you can still shoot this thing, which is pretty cool. But overall, the mechanism for the magazine is actually very similar. In fact, probably the same as the Maxim, and since the magazines are exactly the same, it's not a big deal. I did notice that there was those red shavings that came off, and these red shavings are actually, I think, is probably from the silencer that's on the top, because there was a lot of it that was on the where the mechanism was, because I'm not sure what, but maybe they just left it in the barrel or something. But before I even shot, I cocked it halfway and then took a look down the barrel, and you see that red plastic shavings in there, and it's inside the barrel. And I took a quick photo before shooting through it. I tried cleaning it out, but I couldn't reach it because my barrel cleaning rod or barrel ramrod or whatever the heck it is, the rod, it wasn't long enough for this gun, because that silencer added another 4 inches. I couldn't poke it all the way through, but I did notice that the plastic shavings were like where the mechanism were, and I just basically took it off and cleaned it. Sighting it was very easy. You just unscrew the tops, and then you don't even need a tool. You just unscrew the tops and just resight it. I was just shooting down about probably 15 feet or so, 15 to 20 feet, into my garage and stuff, so it was pretty safe. I did move the scope back a little, so it's back to my eye level. And for my backing, I basically use a old telephone book that I wrapped around with a lot of packaging tape, so it basically acts as a bullet sponge, and that's all the bullets I shot that night or last night. Basically, I think I probably used up 40 to 50 pellets or more, probably more than that. I didn't want to spend $16 and buy a professional target thing, because I don't think, let the professionals do that. This is an amateur review of this thing, and it's a pretty much honest owner's review of this thing. I'm just gonna use paper, and this is how I actually do it. I just basically get a phone book, tape it up, and then I basically take a few phone pages out of it, use a magic marker, and just mark up pluses on it. So that's my hit target spots, and then I could just sight my gun or rifle with those quickie things. So I'm sorry, I'm a little cheap, but at the same time, I don't see why you need to spend money on paper, if especially I'm just shooting it into just for testing it and sighting. So maybe if I'm doing it on the range, yeah, sure, but if it's into my garage, not a big deal. And basically, it's pretty cool because, sighting wasn't bad. First, it was a little off. I basically clicked down the sights for a while, but as soon as it matched it pretty quickly for the 20 feet of distance. So it's just fun to plink and just aim and shoot, which is pretty nice. As you can see, blasted a few, and then after that, I just shot probably around 3 or 4 other pages of these things, and thanks to a little magic marker and a lot of pages of telephone book, an old telephone book. This was like probably 2 years ago or 3 years ago, so I just keep them, and I just tape them up and use them for just for this purpose. They act as a big bullet sponge. This probably has around 50 to 60 or more pellets that all expanded inside the phone book, and I basically shot it against a 1-inch plywood, just to see what it'd do to it. And did it go through? Kinda. It shot through it, cracked through it, and basically the pellet fell down. So 1-inch plywood is pretty good, but what I did is actually put two layers of plywood behind my my phone book. So basically that acted as a sponge, and the plywood acted as just in case. I didn't want the pellets to hit anywhere else. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for more to follow this thing, and also hit that the playlist. Subscribe to that playlist for this airgun stuff on my channel. I'm gonna see if I can get this thing working, the Crony, with LED lights or something else. But otherwise, I'll give you updates later. Thanks again. Please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Thank you. Have a good one. See you next time. Bye bye.